Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism. No contribution with this video. This just popped across, and I had to make a video about this. Back in the day, and those of you who are around my age, who used to listen to Howard Stern, and used to be Stern fans, know like he was huge, like he was bigger than big, and you know the the height of it all was the OJ trial. I mean, it used to be you couldn't miss his show. It was that entertaining. So, like, I've been off the Howard train now for Jesus close to 20 years. Because then I became more of an Opie and Anthony fan. I saw all Howard's hypocrisy, how he tried to shut them down and shut anybody else down, who figured out that you didn't have to be afraid of this guy. If you just called him out and made fun of him right back, he can't handle it. But, and again, this isn't about really COVID itself, but those of you who've heard or kind of follow along know he has been an absolute fucking asshole over COVID. And he's just used this to bully people and just berate them, and it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Apparently, he hadn't left his house for 2 years, and he just started leaving his house. Because the guy is a straight sociopathic narcissist. If you followed him for any length of time, and you see how he interacts with people, and you see his bullying, and you see what he does, and you see how he has his flying monkeys around him, the guy is just a fucking disgrace. And to watch this guy more from somebody who used to just fuck with celebrities, hated celebrities, everybody's ripping me off. They're ripping him off. And all it was just straight jealousy, because he just wanted to be loved by these people. And now that he's in, boy, did he buy it hook, line, and sinker. Because if you remember back in the day, Stern used to be a Republican. Stern got Pataki elected in New York. He got Giuliani elected. He got Christy Todd Whitman elected because shit was just out of control. Like, he was really one of the biggest contributing factors to pushing those people over the finish line. So here we got Howard Stern hopes and calls for a return of COVID lockdowns. A caller asked Howard Stern if he planned to return to his studio after spending the last 3 years at home to evade COVID. Stern said no. In fact, he's more worried now than he has been. He says the threat of a new COVID wave has him in a state of paranoia. I'm going crazy with this. My wife yelled at me last night. We got in a fight. You know how paranoid I am about getting COVID. I haven't gotten it. I'm pretty safe, and I don't want to get it, Stern said. So not only is he using this to control the people who work for him on the show, he uses this to bully and berate his wife. Why? Because she's years younger than him, and she's probably sick of his shit. Everyone goes, don't worry, it's just a cold for me. It'll probably be way worse. You know what I mean? I'm the lucky one who will completely fall apart. My wife's considerably younger than me, as you might have heard. She's not as concerned about getting COVID as I am because, I'm an older dude. No, you're a sociopathic narcissist that wants to control and bully everybody and bully society now. Stern says his wife has plans to travel, but he might stay home and lock himself down. Oh, please do, because I know it's only a matter of time before she leaves him. And boy, will that be hilarious, him having to give half his money away. Ooh, a lot of money. Beth has a bunch of plans. She has a wedding shower to go to and a lunch to go to with a friend and a dinner and blah, 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 blah. So, we're really making an effort. We go out to restaurants. We went to the Ed Sheeran concert. We've really been out there. I haven't gotten COVID. And I'm like, you know what? If I get it, Stern said. Then, all of a sudden, they announced there's a new strain of COVID and it's on the rise. You know what that is? That's when the narcissist says, I was just about to. Until X, Y, and Z, and now it has to all go back to the same. It's the same I was just about, if I get it, but now, boom. Then all of a sudden they announce there's a new strain of COVID and it's on the rise. And people are being hospitalized. It's a good time to go back into lockdown. And I'm like, you mean I'm just emerging and now I'm going back into lockdown? Stern isn't kidding. The new Howard Stern doesn't joke, particularly on the topic of COVID. The New York Post reported last October that Stern died out with friends for the first time since the start of COVID 2.5 years prior. Germaphobe Howard Stern leaves bunker and with pals for the first time since 2020. COVID frightened no one in the media more than it did Howard Stern. Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't buy him for a second. Want to know why? Because I followed him. I listened to him since the late 80s. Okay? He wasn't a germaphobe when he had every skank, hooker, fucking whack pack, loser, homeless, crack addict in his studio, in his little tiny studio at K-Rock. Okay? Back in the day. Oh, he want a germaphobe then. Now he's a germaphobe. Now that he can lock himself away in his 20-bedroom mansion with his 3 pools and whatever else, and his live-in housekeeping and his staff and Ralph wiping his ass for him. Now he's afraid. Now that it's convenient. Now he doesn't have to leave his house to even do his shitty radio show, which he barely does anyway. But he can sit there from his house dictating to everyone else in the society how it should be. You should lock down, even though you live in a shitty apartment, you got nowhere to go. Like, never mind me in my multi-million-dollar fucking who knows how many square foot goddamn estate. Malignant narcissism. Oh, he's scared. He's scared of germs. Really? Really? Where were you when you're having these fucking skanks tits in your face? Where was your fear of germs then? Where were you when fucking Jenks or High-Pitched Eric or God knows who else, even Jackie the Jokeman, the dirty motherfucker that he is, Stuttering John, spitting all over the place. Wasn't concerned about germs then, was he? All of a sudden, when it becomes politically convenient for the side of his new party, is he a fucking germaphobe? Bullshit. Some notable examples include him demanding the NFL throw Aaron Rodgers out of the league for not being vaxxed, complaining about Oprah hosting a dinner party without mask, and blaming Kirstie Alley's colon cancer on her anti-science approach to the pandemic, whatever that means. Bill Maher considers Stern a friend. He missed him. Yet he fears he will never see him again, at least not alive. I have a long storied history, ups and downs with Howard, and it's just, I find it so sad these days. I can't see him because of the pandemic, Mark told comedian Kevin Nealon. I don't think I'll ever see him again because I don't think he'll ever leave his house because he's what? He's very, very, look, I don't want to judge it, but he's scared of germs. Bullshit. He's just using... Because people keep like, when you coming out, Howard? When you coming out, Howard? When you coming out, Howard? If Howard was going out, he wouldn't be half as relevant. This is how he's keeping his fucking relevancy. Goddamn sociopath. If he was just going into the studio, continuing to do his radio show, he'd barely be a blip on the radar. Nobody fucking listens to him anymore. But this is how he stays relevant. And that's all he ever cared about, was staying relevant one way or another. And this is his only way to stay relevant. He's no fucking germaphobe. Go look back on his old shows. They're all over the internet. They're all over YouTube. Go look it on from his E-show, especially from the goddamn K-Rock days, in that little shoebox of a studio. Tell me that's a guy who's a fucking germaphobe. Bullshit. COVID broke Howard Stern. Oh, bullshit, it did. COVID and Donald Trump, to be exact. More Trump because it's more about Trump because Trump was so hated by his new friends that he spent so long trying to gain the fucking approval of. and he hasn't recovered. Howard Stern is a fragile shell of his former self. He's a sheep. No one would have more fun mocking 2023 Howard Stern than 1990s Howard Stern, and that's absolutely true. So to answer the caller's question, no, Stern doesn't plan to return to the studio. Howard Stern plans to return to his basement, which he has locked himself down from March 22 to October 22. He's not there because of COVID. He's there because that is the only way he stays relevant anymore. Typical Narcissism 101. So, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you everybody watching, and if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you, all of this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to both my Rumble channels. Follow me on Twitter and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.